Hello and welcome to the e-content series of environmental sciences. Today we will discuss about the concept of exotic species. All organisms are native to planet Earth and each species of bacteria, fungi, plant, animal and other creature has a home somewhere on this planet where it has existed and evolved for thousands of years. A native or indigenous species is one that occurs in a particular place without the help of humans. An organism's home or native range is determined by a host of influences such as climate, geology, soils, hydrology, biological interactions, and natural dispersal. Living things disperse within their native range by moving around on their own or with the help of air, water, wind, and other animals. Human activities are profoundly affecting the Earth's surface. Human population growth has contributed a variety of stresses on natural ecosystems, including the unintentional introduction of various non-indigenous species. Exotic species, also called non-indigenous or non-native species, are organisms that have moved beyond their natural geographical range of habitat. They represent all phyla from microorganisms to various plants and animals, both terrestrial and aquatic. An exotic species is an organism found living beyond its historic native range, which is usually taken as the area where it evolved to its present form. Executive Order 13112 of February 3, 1999, issued by the US government, defined alien species as any species, including its seeds, eggs, spores, or other biological material capable of propagating that species that is not native to the particular ecosystem in which it is found. Thus, alien can be used interchangeably with non-indigenous. Similarly, Executive Order 13112 defined invasive species as an alien species whose introduction does or is likely to cause economic or environmental harm or harm to human health. Thus, invasive and nuisance species are synonymous and can be used interchangeably. An invasive species is also by definition non-indigenous, but not all non-indigenous species are invasive. For example, coho and pink salmon are favored non-indigenous sportfish in the Great Lakes, but are not considered invasive or a nuisance. These salmon could also be called alien or exotic with respect to the Great Lakes. The zebra mussel, on the other hand, is an invasive species as well as non-indigenous. An organism is considered exotic when it has been introduced by humans to a location outside its native or natural range. This designation applies to a species introduced from another continent, another ecosystem, and even another habitat within an ecosystem. For example, salt marsh cordgrass, a wetland plant that is native to eastern North American estuaries, was introduced intentionally to western North American shoreline habitats where it did not occur previously. Sadly, it has become established and is now considered a serious invasive species, displacing all the native species and adversely impacting wetland communities and several endangered native bird and plant species. European settlers brought hundreds of plants to North America from their homelands for use as food and medicine and for ornamental, sentimental, and other purposes. Introductions of exotic plants continue today and are increasing due to a large and ever-expanding human population, increased international travel and trade, and other factors. For centuries, horticulturists have imported and disseminated interesting new exotic plants. Unfortunately, many of these have become invasive pests that are having serious impacts to native species and ecosystems. The introduction of non-native species can have a major impact on the structure and functioning of terrestrial, freshwater and marine systems, as well as islands and urban areas. After habitat destruction, the exotic species are now considered the second greatest threat to biological diversity. The Convention on Biological Diversity recognizes invasive species as a global problem. Invasive species may lead to loss of species diversity, increase erosion, and affect the physical structure of the habitat. Now, introduction of exotic species. The introduction of exotic species may be deliberate or accidental. Deliberate introductions. Many plants have been introduced deliberately, for example, as new fodder for sheep to bolster the wool trade in England, or as ground cover to prevent erosion in the United States. Most organisms introduced in the 18th and 19th centuries had some sort of economic merit, but later introductions were often motivated by curiosity or decorative value. Some introduced plants will always remain dependent on people for their survival, requiring watering or for competing weeds to be removed. Other introductions, however, do quite well on their own in an exotic environment. Many species of mammals and birds have been introduced as game animals and have done extremely well on their own. These include the brown trout, which was brought from Europe to many areas of the world, red deer from England to New Zealand, and many other examples. Worldwide, humans have succeeded in deliberately establishing at least 330 species of non-native birds and mammals in more than 1,500 separate cases. 20% of the introductions have taken place on continents, 20% on shelf islands, and the majority, that is 60%, on oceanic islands. Most introductions have been made to North America, Europe, and Australia. Accidental introductions. Many introductions are not deliberate but inadvertent. They can nevertheless have drastic results. The actual mechanism is proposed to be external attachment to clothing and footwear, or in soil adhering to footwear. Plants have also been dispersed accidentally by moving objects such as vehicles, by crop seed movements, and among soils. Water carried by ships as ballast can be instrumental in the spread of aquatic organisms. Transport of entire coastal planktonic communities makes coastal areas the most threatened in the world. Now, nature and status of exotic species. All non-native species are not harmful or invasive. Invasive alien species are the subset of alien species whose establishment and spread threatens ecosystems, habitats, or species with economic or environmental significance. Invasive species can be plants, animals, and microorganisms, and they are found almost in all types of ecosystems. At least 10% of world's vascular plants have the potential to invade other ecosystems and affect native biota in a direct or indirect way. About 18% of the Indian flora constitutes adventitious aliens, of which 55% are American, 10% Asian, 20% Asian and Malaysian, and 15% European and Central Asian species. The yellow crazy ant, the small Indian mongoose, the Nile perch, strawberry guava are among the worst invasive species. Plants, mammals, and insects constitute the most common type of invasive alien species, in terrestrial environment. Grasses and trees are widespread problem of bioinvasion in terrestrial environments. Invertebrates such as mollusks and crustaceans and algae are predominant alien species in marine and coastal areas. Fish, aquatic weeds, and other invertebrates are the frequent invasive alien species of freshwaters. Angiospermic plants form a dominant group of invasive species, particularly the members of Asteraceae, Poaceae, and Fabaceae. Now, characteristics of exotic plants. The plant characteristics which are indicative of potential invasiveness of species are high input of viable propagules, short, that is less than 2-year development time to reproductive maturity, seeds or other reproductive units with prolonged, that is greater than 5-year period of dormancy or residency in seed bank, high rate of aerial or subterranean biomass production, dense and spreading foliage or canopy, efficient long distance, that is greater than 1 kilometer dispersal capabilities, presence of interspecific allelopathic properties and absence of intraspecific allelopathic properties, successful colonizer of disturbed or bare ground, reproductive strategy that facilitates survival in the fire-prone environments, and broad distribution over a wide range due to a distinct climate types or ecotypes. It has been argued that species which are not pre-adapted to the new environment by evolution in similar climates in their source regions are less likely to invade the new environment, and also those species which do not develop adaptive characters under unfavorable conditions get excluded by the native species. Impact of exotic species. Many exotic grasses, shrubs, trees, and even exotic bird species are living in environments manipulated by human activities. In most cases, their impacts on native biota are not very severe. However, many invasive species cause economic and ecological harm to the native species and ecosystems. The status and impacts of invasive species in Convention on Biological Diversity thematic areas and other areas are forests. Within tropics and subtropics, tree plantations and agroforestry are important sources of biological invasions. Eucalyptus from Australia is widespread in Southeast Asia, India, California, and various parts of Africa. Grasslands and savannas. Many exotic grasses, including bromus species, have widely invaded grassland ecosystems in different regions of the world. Lantana camara and Pinus species are common woody invasive species. Freshwater ecosystems. Lakes, springs, and headwaters of streams are particularly vulnerable to invasive alien species. Invasive species are invading large areas of freshwater systems in both temperate and tropical regions, affecting the diversity of native species and water quality. One such example of exotic invasive species is Azolla species in the world-famous Dal Lake of Kashmir Himalayas. Azolla has showed luxuriant growth in the waters of the Dal Lake and choked the important waterways of the lake to a greater extent. Alien water weeds like water hyacinth and water lettuce are a global problem. Coastal and marine environments. Increase in shipping activity worldwide has made it the most important pathway for the spread of exotic species in the marine environments. In these environments, invasive species are common and highly significant agents of change. Many groups of organisms, including protozoa, sponges, tunicate fish, and seaweeds, have caused major invasions in recent years. Islands. The impact of introduced plant and animals on Pacific islands have been very severe. The long-time isolated islands of Hawaii, Guam, Mauritius, and New Zealand have been severely affected by invasive species. In New Zealand, roughly two-thirds of the land surface is covered by exotic plants, whereas half of the Hawaii wild species are non-natives. On the oceanic islands, invasive alien species are a cause of the irreversible species extinctions. Pests and diseases. Dear viewers, agricultural weeds can contaminate seed crops and reduce their value. Invasive insects can harm crop plants and reduce their productivity and act as vectors of disease among livestock in human population. For example, the chestnut blight reduced the chestnut trees, once major components of temperate deciduous forests in America and Europe. Competitors. Exotic species also exhibit competition with the native species. Competition can be of two types: interference or exploitative. Interference competition involves aggressive behavior between two species, while in exploitative competition, species compete for a common resource. For example, water hyacinth was introduced in India from South America as an ornamental plant. Now it has become a nuisance in many aquatic systems and is also having negative effects on native species. Ecosystem effects. Dear students, at ecosystem level, alien species affect structural diversity, cause local extinction of native species, change fire and nutrient regimes and nutrient cycling patterns, as well as produce allelochemical substances. The invading species alter the composition of the native biological community and a variety of ecosystem properties such as productivity, natural disturbance regimes, and vegetation structure. For example, the introduction of nitrogen-fixing tree, Myrica fire, to nitrogen-limited ecosystem of Hawaii resulted in marked increase in nitrogen inputs. This in turn has changed the structure and function of native forests, inviting still more invasive species. Ecosystem services. Invasive species may cause changes in ecological services by imparting hydrological cycle, recycling of nutrients, conservation and regeneration of soils, pollination of crops, and seed dispersal. Loss of biological diversity. Dear students, invaders make the environmental conditions unfavorable for native flora and fauna by altering the ecosystem level processes and affect the existence and survival of indigenous organisms. The Fynbos area in South Africa is a global hotspot of biodiversity, where 68% of plant species are endemic. In this biologically diverse ecosystem, the invasion of woody species such as acacia and pinus have caused extinction of many indigenous plant species and pose a great threat to many more species. Alien species are a significant direct threat, affecting 30% of all threatened birds, 15% of all threatened plants, and 10% of all threatened mammals. Economic losses. The economic losses due to exotic species can amount to billions of dollars every year, as their management costs include not only costs to preservation, control, and mitigation, but also indirect costs due to significant impacts on the goods and services provided by ecosystems. Besides the direct cost, the economic cost also includes their indirect environmental consequences and various non-market values. It is estimated that about 137 billion US dollars are lost per year for an array of invasive species. Now, prevention and mitigation of alien species. Dear students, there are 4 major steps to deal with problems of alien species. That's prevention, early detection, eradication, and control. Prevention of introduction is the first and most cost-effective option. The various possibilities include interception based on regulation enforced with inspection and fees, treatment of material suspected to be contaminated with exotic species, and prohibition of the particular commodities in accordance with international regulations. One way to stop the damage which an exotic species may inflict on an ecosystem is to control or eliminate the species when its populations are still very small. An early detection survey could be used to determine whether a particular invasive species is present in an ecosystem or not. The last step in the management option is the control of an invasive species when eradication is not possible. Various approaches for the control of invasive species include mechanical, chemical, and biological methods. Control methods should be socially, culturally, and ethically acceptable, efficient, non-polluting, and should not adversely affect native flora and fauna, human health and well-being, domestic animals or crops. Physical removal can be an effective option for clearing areas of alien invasive plants. Chemicals should be as specific as possible, non-persistent and non-accumulative in the food chain. Persistent organic pollutants, including organochlorine compounds, should not be used. Control methods for animals should be as humane as possible and consistent with the aims of control. Being environment friendly, biological control is particularly appropriate for use in nature reserves and other conservation areas. Now, international initiatives for control of invasive species. Dear viewers, the international initiatives for control of invasive species include: number 1, the Convention on Biological Diversity, which calls on governments to prevent the introduction of, control or eradicate those alien species which threaten ecosystems, habitats of species. Number 2, the Global Invasive Species Program, that's GISP, formed in 1997, which is preparing new tools and approaches for the management, control and mitigation of the impacts of invasive species on local, national and global scale. And number 3, the Invasive Species Specialist Group, that is ISSG, the aim of which is to increase awareness about biological invasions and suggest ways to prevent, control or eradicate invasive species. That is all we have from today's lecture. Thank you for watching.